Hi, everyone. You're listening to Millennial TeaV. This is your host, Adrienne, Candace, and Liz. And today we're doing Season 1 The Hills DVD special features. We did this for Laguna Beach as well, so if you're a fan, go back to our episodes and listen to that. But today we're going to talk about what's on this season's special features DVD. And I know there's like a lot of casual Hills fans who just watch what's on TV, but we are the Rewatch Podcast. So we are here to deep dive into all of the behind the scenes. So, we had to get the DVD, which is right here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Should show you. So it's for the girls on the very front cover with Lauren. Like everyone's wearing black, but Lauren's in white. Because she's Lauren.
She's the main baddie good girl.
And did you guys see these photos? So like,
yes,
there's 3 DVDs in here, and it's like pictures of Lauren and Heidi together, Whitney, Audrina, and then like Lauren and Jason on the back.
I was
Brian
dying over the Brian and Jordan picture. You have to show it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is the most modelly, like, they are mean mugging. I was like, oh my goodness. These boys are modeling.
It's very cute to see, like, all these photos and stuff like that. I just love it. And if you're, like, a fan of TV shows and movies, and you're, like, obsessed with this kind of thing, watching the special features of a DVD is like nothing other.
No, it really, I remember that back in the day, okay, I had to get the DVD of anything that I loved in the theaters, right? Like immediately as it came out, I was finding out when the DVD was going to be released and I was going to get it. But I could not just get the standard DVD. I had to get the special features, extra disc, like whatever thing it was. So it's so funny because my DVD collection that is severely outdated, but my DVD collection is still like, it all says like special features and like, you know, like, because I had to, and I watched all of them. Like if it was a movie that I really liked, I watched all the interviews, the deleted scenes. I loved that shit. I was like, why you buy the DVDs? And I remember like with the Twilight DVDs, they would have different releases of different versions. So like Walmart would have a Walmart exclusive version that had like special stuff, and then Target would have their Target exclusive edition. But if you get it from, you know, Blockbuster, they have this. And like, I remember one year
I'm so ashamed. I'm pretty sure I have the Twilight DVDs too.
I definitely do. But I remember specifically for New Moon, shout out to the Twilight girlies. I went to Walmart specifically to get the DVD because it came with a necklace, and on one side of it, it was the wolf pack tattoo symbol, and on the other side was the Cullen crest. And I was like, oh my God, this is like,
I forgot.
Yeah. I'm like, this is like elite. This is like height of fashion. I need this freaking necklace because I am Switzerland and I can't choose, except I could because I was super Team Edward. But I needed the necklace. But like these things, like they don't do that anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
They don't
like
come with little gifts like that.
No.
No one's buying DVDs.
We have so much physical
media.
media.
Okay, Liz is.
Yeah. we like are those people that are like, we have to own it because if it's streaming, they could just take it away at any moment and then it's gone forever. And so we buy everything. But I love watching the commentary for movies and stuff too.
Me too.
We love doing that stuff. Yeah. So it's like a special little gift you get for buying the movie.
Like, I still have, like, season DVDs of, like, random shit. Like, if you come to my house, I'm like, what 90s television show do you want to watch? Because I have them all on DVD. I don't need a streaming service.
Yeah.
Even though I have them all, too. But anything you want to watch, I got you.
Sometimes I'll go on YouTube and watch, like, the deleted scenes or bloopers, especially, oh my God.
Bloopers are amazing.
The Hills obviously wouldn't have bloopers, but like regular shows and movies, the bloopers are so good. I love it so much. And I'll just like watch them on YouTube of like Modern Family or like Big Bang Theory and just like laugh. Like it's just so good.
They always made me want to act because it looks so much, it looks like so much fun. But, like, a lot of times you have to think, like, those bloopers are, like, now it's funny, but during that, when they couldn't stop laughing, was probably so frustrating for, like, the whole cast and crew.
Everyone else.
You know what I mean? Like, but
Yes.
meanwhile, like, I'm like, oh my god, that's so funny, and they probably were, like, desperately trying to get the scene done, you know? But yeah, I love blooper reels. If anybody has the How I Met Your Mother DVDs, which is one of my favorite shows.
We have them.
Yeah, the blooper reels on those are hysterical because, I mean, Neil Patrick Harris, Jason Segel, I mean, it's just...
Everyone is so funny in that
it's
show.
It's a shit show.
Yeah.
On the season 1 special features, there's a few different sections. There's deleted scenes, featurettes, which show the cast at the Hills premiere and MTV Movie Awards. And then there's like a little after show portion. And then we have the cast interviews. So are you guys ready to get into it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So first up are the deleted scenes. And I kind of understand why these are like left on the cutting room floor. Because there were a couple interesting ones, but for the most part, they were kind of boring.
And
I felt the same way.
As I was watching, I was like, oh my god, another one? Like, it was so long. And then, of course, the last one, I was like, I'm fast-forwarding through this to see, like, how many more there is. And, of course, that was the last one. And I'm like, well, I'm not going back now. I get the gist. But,
yeah.
But, yeah, I was very like, wow, there's a lot. There's usually not that many deleted scenes.
And they were very mundane and just, like, everyday things that didn't really add to the storyline. So I don't know why they chose to include these on the deleted scenes.
It was odd. But you know what? I still loved it and enjoyed it because it was more content.
It was more of a glimpse into what they were doing.
Yeah. And these deleted scenes are, like, less edited, so it feels like just legitimately real life. Like, somebody could have had their iPhone out.
Totally. Yeah.
Or, I guess, flip phone, because we're not at iPhones yet.
So in the first one, we get Lauren and Heidi, who are wearing like really cute little halter tops and like short little jean skirts, and they go shopping.
Mini tiny jean skirts. These skirts were so tiny.
And Lauren tells Heidi about how her Teen Vogue interview goes. So it's like at the very beginning of the season. And I guess Lauren is shopping for like work clothes because Heidi keeps trying to tell her to like wear sweaters. And she's like, I'm not wearing a sweater. Stop it. And then they talk about how cute and nice Audrina is. And Heidi points to like a yellow dress that's very slinky. And Heidi's like, that's a good work dress.
She's like, no.
Yeah. No, Heidi, no. But that's it.
In this scene, I spied one of those bags, Candace.
Yes,
Did
I
you
have
see
that
it?
too. Yes, it was black. Yes.
I immediately was like, oh my gosh, there it is.
I talked about this purse a few episodes ago, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're going to freaking post it again because these purses are so iconic. But we did post one on our Instagram. But it's this silver, dangly, like little discs hanging from it purse that like every girl had in the 2000s. And I got mine gifted to me from a friend who was moving away. She gave it to me to remember her by because she used to bring her school books in it. And every day I'd be like, that is so cute. You are so fashion forward. And she was like, I'm giving this to you as like a parting gift. And I was like, shut up, I
so
love
sweet.
You. Shout out to Tiana Walker. I don't know where she is or, you know, where she went, but I will forever love her for that. And yeah, there's in this scene, when they're walking through the store, there's a black version of one of these purses, and I immediately was like, yes! I didn't make it up in my head. These were trendy!
I just remember they would like snag everything. Like if you had a sweater on, especially, it's like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Nothing was surviving that bag.
No. They were really annoying, and I do think I threw mine away, like when I was going through my closet, like maybe like junior year of high school, because I was like, these are not cool anymore. So sorry, Tiana, it did end up in the trash, but I wore it out. Its trendy phase lasted a long time, and I wore it for that trendy phase. Okay.
Then in the second deleted scene, we see Brian and Jordan at the park, and they talk about how cool it is to live in LA. And Jordan's like really excited to be dating Heidi, and like it was actually pretty cute. Like Jordan was very into Heidi. This must have been at the very beginning. And then Brian literally like slaps him across the face, and he's like, "Stop acting like a pansy.
Yeah.
You're too in love.
You're literally drawing in the sand right now."
Yeah. And then they talk about how they'll meet Lauren and Audrina for dinner tonight, but cute scene. But I
Not
guess it would paint
necessary,
Jordan
though.
too much in love and not like the asshole that they kind of wanted him to look like.
I will say that these scenes made me go, huh, Jordan was actually kind of a good boyfriend.
Yeah, no, he was, yeah.
And like, we didn't really see a lot of him being a good boyfriend.
Not at all.
So I was kind of like, huh, like they were kind of a pretty good couple. That's why everybody keeps saying that. So
Yeah.
he was very much in love with her, and he very much tried with her, I think. So
in the next one, we see Lauren and Heidi drive to school for their first day at FIDM. And Heidi talks about how she's already dreading it, while Lauren tells her that she just has to give it a chance.
She says, I'm a one-day girl.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do something for one day.
I know.
Yeah.
Listen, poor Heidi, though, if it's true that she was never going to really go to school the way that Lauren was because she didn't have the money, but she was like trying to like put something on for the show. If that's true.
I wonder. I wish we got to talk to Heidi one day and we've got to ask her that if we do. We're manifesting.
Did Brian tell us that? Where did that come from? That tidbit about her not having money.
Someone said that. Was it Jill?
I don't know where we got that from.
Or an Instagram message, I feel like, that someone might have sent us.
Something. But if that's true, then I do feel like they were really like pushing the narrative that she was like dumb, too dumb for school.
Or not interested.
Yeah, or too much of a party girl to care, which I don't think was the case. I think she just, like, because that would have been me. I didn't have the money to go to school. I actually remember I had, like, this big plan that I was going to go to Ithaca College in New York, and I was going to study acting, and I was going to be a famous actress, and I looked online, and I had this chart, and I figured out, like, what room and board would cost, and, like, all this stuff, and I presented it to my parents sophomore year of high school, and they were like, "You don't have a college savings." And I was like, what? You know, like I was like, but on TV, everyone always has a college savings. And they were like, if you want to go to college, you're going to have to work. And I was like, oh. You know, so, you know, I dialed it back a little bit. And I went to community college, but, you know, that would have been me. I would have been the friend who could not afford FIDM in LA, so.
Could be true. But they probably didn't put the scene in because we already get so much of Heidi, like, not wanting to go on the show, so it was kind of redundant, this scene. Then in the next one, we get Heidi and Jordan chilling out by their pool, and Heidi tells him that she has to go to work, but she really just wants to sit around and tan, like, all day. And then Lauren walks over with all her stuff and tells them that she has school and a test. And then Heidi suggests that they all three go on a date tonight. And Lauren laughs and jokes that she's the third wheel to Heidi and Jordan. And then I think she goes back to school, or like she leaves. And then Heidi tells Jordan that she could never have another roommate because Lauren is so awesome. And then Jordan's like, "Okay. Can we make out now?"
And then they do this weird thing,
They're
and I'm
so
like,
funny
together. But Lauren tells this meme about two little birds on a branch, and the other bird's like, "It's fine, I had plans anyway," like, because she's looking at the couple bird. That was in a promo for the show.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was on a commercial, like an MTV commercial for The Hills, and I literally went, "Oh my god, that's what that's from," because I never saw it on the show.
That's crazy.
And I always was like, that never actually happens. So yeah, that was a promo, and I remember seeing it like over and over and over again.
Then the next one, we see Heidi coming home, and Lauren's like making her a cheese sandwich, and I put saddest looking cheese sandwich because she had it next to like ketchup So she was supposed to dip her cheese sandwich in ketchup.
And then she tells her that she had a full one, but she took too long, so Lauren ate it. I'm like, that is not cool. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I know. Then Lauren asks if Heidi had a good day at work, and Heidi says no. And then Lauren says, were they mean to you? Which reminded me so much of
Miss
Lo saying that to her.
Yeah.
And then Heidi says that she doesn't like it the more she goes to work. And then Lauren tells her, well, work isn't supposed to be fun. It's supposed to help you pay rent. And then Heidi says she won't quit without another job like in line, but it just wasn't what she thought it was going to be. And then Lauren tells her that her issue is Heidi just doesn't like work.
Okay. I was irritated by Lauren in this scene.
I was too.
Why?
Because Heidi is just venting that she doesn't want to be at work and doesn't like work. And Lauren's like, well, you're not supposed to like it. First of all, either you could definitely find a job that you love or that you don't hate going to every day. If, you know, a supportive friend would have been like, well, maybe this just isn't the job for you. Maybe you need to look for something else. And also Heidi says, I will not quit this job without getting another job, which proves that she's responsible. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, I'm not going to just up and quit. Though MTV would have you think that. But I think she was kind of irritated with Lauren as well. I think she was like, I'm not stupid. I understand that I need it to pay rent. Yeah, I was just like, she could be a little bit more supportive as a friend in this scene.
I felt the same way. And just her being like, you're not supposed to like work. Because I agree, even if it's not what you necessarily want to be doing, you can still enjoy your coworkers and, you know, make it fun somehow. I thought she was just really negative to Heidi.
You should never absolutely hate where you have to spend 8 hours of your day.
No. And if it's that bad, then yes, find a different job.
Absolutely. And Lauren, you love fashion, so you're working in fashion.
Yeah.
That would be you liking your job.
That is so funny. I thought it was fine. Then in the next one, we get Lauren and Whitney who go to get coffee for the office. And Lauren talks about going on a date with Jason. Lauren says that they're both over it. So they're just trying to get along. But I wasn't sure if she was we're over the relationship or over their problems. I'm not really sure.
I am just impressed that they're actually doing intern things.
I know. I wish they would have kept the scene in just to see that. Yeah. It was so fun.
They bring back a huge coffee order to the office, and they talk about what they have to do at work, and apparently they have to find a baby for a photo shoot. And Lauren says she doesn't really like babies. And then they literally show them handing a coffee to Lisa Love.
Well, now Lauren has 2 babies.
And then the next one I thought was kind of cute. They go to the Grove during Christmas, and Lauren, Jason, Heidi, Jordan go to get photos with Santa. And Heidi jumps right on Santa's lap, and she asks for a puppy, a matching Louis Vuitton carrier, a Louis bag, and a diamond ring. And they all giggle and just kind of laugh at her.
I thought that was cute.
It was cute.
I wish they would have left that in. It was so short, too. They could have left it in.
And Heidi is a princess girly. I love that about her because that's how I am. I'm I literally have a princess sign behind me. That aesthetic of just wanting to be I don't know, you're a little girl at heart. You're always going to be a princess. I don't know. I've always had that. I love pink. If I could wear a crown every day, I would.
But she's spoiled AF, though.
She is, but she also doesn't have money. I think she's spoiled to an extent. I don't think she has the kind of money that Lauren has or the kind of support that Lauren has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that also is part of the reason why she wants Jordan to take care of her, because she, in her mind, she's like, well, I'm a princess and I'm a girl and I should always pay for things and take care of things. It's so I get it, but I also understand how that could be irritating
Totally.
to other people or like obnoxious to other people. But I'm like, oh, she's cute. She just wants to be taken care of. Like me. All girls deserve to be princesses.
Okay, in the next scene, we get Jordan in the car with Jason, and they're going to get their tattoos, which Jason bought Jordan for Christmas. And Jordan's saying that Heidi's flipping out about the tattoo, but he's super excited to get it. And then they go into Shamrock Tattoo, and Jordan is nervous, like visibly nervous, and they're talking about it.
Yeah.
They keep talking about how nervous he is, and Jordan is like really trying to act like everything's okay, but he's so like freaking out. And he gets a cross tattooed on his right, like his upper back. And MTV has the tattoo gun sound like playing really loud, and they zoom like right into Jordan's face, and Jordan looks stunned. Like his face is hilarious.
They held on that shot for a really long time too. Like
So
I feel
long.
like they were waiting for him to like wince or like ow or something, but he was just like stone faced. It was so
He looked like he was gonna cry.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
The tattoo artist asks if his parents will have an issue, but he says that Heidi, his girlfriend, is going to kill him. And then Jason's also getting a tattoo at the same time, but on the top of his right arm. And it's also a cross. Did they get the same thing?
I think
No.
so.
Well,
I think
it was similar,
yeah.
but it said like they got different Bible verses and like it was a little bit different. Yeah.
But
both crosses.
honor bright,
mostly the
Jordan.
same.
Honor bright. How dare you?
Oh, yeah.
How dare you get this tattoo on her bright, Jordan? Jordan Patrick Eubanks.
Aw.
I was like, so he did get the forbidden tattoo. Do you guys have any tattoos?
I have like 10 tattoos.
Really?
Yeah, Liz is tatted up.
Yeah.
I think I knew that from some of your pictures.
Well, and every time she's in a tank, Leah, look at her.
True. I know, shows how much I pay attention. I'm like, do you guys have any tattoos?
It's so funny.
I'm like, yeah, maybe I have seen her with tattoos. Yeah, like several times. Duh. I'm so afraid. Like, I want to get like my parents' signatures from like a birthday card somewhere on my body, but I am so terrified. And my mom was always like, do not ink your body. Like, she was very like that kind of mom. But my dad had tattoos. So like, not a lot, but he had some.
My friend Katie got her dad's signature. She got it like right like in the like kind of crease of her arm, and it's like a really, really fine line, so it's not even really that noticeable unless you're like looking for it kind of. So something like that. It's like really tasteful. It's really like well done and like delicate.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, what do you want to get on your body forever? Like, you know,
I know it's got to be something like meaningful. And I don't mind getting one, but I just don't have anything that's like the symbol of something super meaningful. At least I can't think about it yet. The only thing I'm like, I would is of my dog.
Oh yeah, I have one of my cat. I actually have two ones to my cats. So
like a portrait.
Well, yeah, this one is Jude. Here, let me stand up a little bit.
Yeah, let's see.
Disneyfied, so she's
oh my god,
an Aristocat. Yeah.
For everyone listening, Liz is showing her like forearm.
Yeah.
So go watch
is
the
very
YouTube.
cute.
That's my favorite one that I have. The other one I have is just my cat Prudence. It's just her name. She died a long time ago, but that's another one. Yeah. So those are my cat tattoos.
That
I want to
cute.
I want to get one of Max from the same artist who did this one, but I want to get him like in the style of Puss in Boots, so, like looking really like, you know, big-eyed. So most of mine are for family members who have passed away, and then I have a couple that are just like for myself, like for fun. Or me and Kyle got one together, like things like that.
That's cute.
If I end up getting the tattoos, I think I'm going to get them like across my wrist, which will be painful, but I just think it would be pretty there. Like on either wrist. I don't know.
Okay, then the boys finish getting their tattoos and they go back to the hillside villas to see their girlfriends. And Heidi's talking to Lauren and she's like, talking about how Jordan's mom was saying how she didn't want him to get a tattoo. And the boys come home and kiss the girls. And then Heidi really doesn't believe that they got anything. And Jason literally like rips the fresh bandage over his fresh tattoo and shows them. And then Jordan turns around and asks Heidi to rip off the bandage on the back of his shirt. And Heidi really doesn't want to pull it off, but Jason's the one that like rips it off. And then Heidi's like, that's not even what you wanted. That's not real. Why'd you do that?
I wonder what he wanted in the first place.
And she's like, why did you do that, Jordan?
Yeah. And I'm like, because she's so against tattoos, I'm wondering if Spencer has tattoos.
I don't know.
Now I have to look that up because I'm curious.
Yes, please.
Yeah, he does have tattoos.
So she must have changed her
Maybe
tune
she's
on
changed her
it.
mind, yeah.
He has this too shall pass on him.
Ah. Then in the next scene, we see Heidi and Audrina, and they're at their building's little gym. And they both get on the treadmill and they talk about the guy Danny that Audrina went on a date with. And she says they went on a date, but nothing happened. They're walking on the treadmill, and then Heidi's like, I think I'm getting strep throat. Another nothing scene.
Yeah,
you know.
That needed to be deleted, yeah.
And then in the next scene, we see Heidi taking little Bella out. And Bella is tiny, like so small in her hands. She's so cute.
We needed more Bella content, so I was very excited about this scene. Bella is perfect, even with all of her issues that we hear about next. But
I know.
I was very happy to see little Miss Bella. She is so cute.
So cute. And Heidi takes her for like a pee outside. And Heidi's like the cutest mom. And she's like, good job, Bella. You did so good doing your pee-pee. And I'm like, yeah, Heidi. I love seeing this. Knowing what she did after abandoning Bella. I'm like, okay, I like to see this version of Heidi with Bella.
Yes.
The next scene makes me so upset.
Okay. So Heidi comes over to Audrina's. And Heidi tells her about how she took Bella to the vet. And Bella had 2 to 3 kinds of worms. And apparently while they were sitting at the vet, a worm came out of Bella's butt.
Ugh.
And Audrina's like really nice about this whole story, but I'd be like, ew, get your dog the fuck out of my apartment.
Where the hell did Jordan find this dog with 2 to 3 kinds of worms?
He said in some part of it that he got her on Craigslist.
But so you can pick up worms from like, you go out and like take them on a walk, they could pick it up. They sniff other dogs who have worms. Like it's so easy to pick up diseases.
It, really?
Absolutely. They tell you when you get like a dog before they get their like 2 or 3 vaccinations to not let them like really like sniff grass, to interact with other dogs unless you know that they're vaccinated. So like it is a thing.
Yeah.
But 2 to 3 different kinds?
Crazy different kinds. Ugh.
I know.
Yeah, and poor Bella.
Heidi talks about how Bella snaps at her sometimes. And since Heidi's so small, that Bella being 3 pounds is like too heavy for Heidi. And she talks about how Bella pees and poos all around the apartment. But I'm like, that's a puppy. Like puppies do that. And she jokes about wanting to teach her tricks like paw, roll over, jump out the window. I'm like, girl.
Yeah.
And she talks about how she spent $500 at the vet, but she actually wants a nice bag, like the Louis duffel. And Heidi's clearly like majorly regretting getting this dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of glad that she didn't end up keeping Bella because she did not look like she was into her.
Although I was laughing because Bella, they were talking about her like she was this vicious animal. Like Lauren's like, she bit me. I'm like, Bella's like this big. Like, I don't know.
So tiny.
Then in the next one, Lauren is in a cute white cardigan, cream tube top, and capri jeans and flip-flops. And she meets Blaine at a photo shoot, and she gets put to work right away. She steams some clothes. Someone asks her to grab some heels by the Ferrari, like actually a little toy Ferrari. And they're like Shimoto heels, which I had to Google, and actually nothing came up. So I don't even know like what kind of special heels they were. But Lauren looks over at the little car and she's like, And then she walks back to the photo shoot and there's tons of like little kids, like teenagers at the shoot. So it's some sort of teenage brand, I thought. And then randomly Heidi walks into the place and hugs Lauren. And then she asks if she's met Ciara yet. And then they show Sierra miss 1-2 step in the middle of all the kids. So do you guys know what this brand is?
No.
Okay. Thought it was a US thing. I didn't know.
I've never heard of it.
Then the next one is a Brian doing his stand-up, which he told us about during his interview. And all of them, Lauren, Audrina, Heidi, Jordan, they all show up at the Laugh Factory. And Brian jumps on stage and says he's never done this before. And he has like so much energy, like radiating out. And he talks about the difference between New York and LA. And in his stand-up, he's saying that you're the man in New York if you have a good job. But in LA, you're the man if you have a table at the club. And it's super cute because Jordan's brought his like little camcorder and is like recording him in this Laugh Factory.
I thought that was
which is
cute
so
too.
funny because no one brings those anymore.
No.
But Brian is so animated and he has so much energy. But I actually thought like that's great if that was his first time.
Yeah,
like his stand-up, he did well.
I thought he did really good.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job.
And then the next guy jokes about Adderall. And then he like puts in a joke that like, I bet Brian knows all about Adderall.
Yeah.
That made me mad.
I know.
Leave Brian
and
alone.
like Brian like for a second was like, oh man.
I know. Then the next one, this was a juicy scene. Lauren and Heidi went to dinner with Lauren's parents, Jim and Kathy. And Kathy says that you guys never come to visit us. And then Heidi tells her all about how she's not happy at work. And she complains about not liking it. And she tells them that for work, she's trying to get herself more into the nightlife scene. So that's what she's trying to do. She tells them that Jordan's trying to record an album and go into real estate. And then Jim jokes that Jason and Jordan should be real estate partners. And then he makes like a little joke about whether they're straight here. So I was like, okay, Jim.
I know.
And then they talk about how Heidi and Jordan have been together for 6 months. And Jim says something about how he doesn't know how long Lauren and Jason have been back together. And then I don't know if this is an edit, but Kathy's like, how about the fashion show?
Brutal.
Oh my gosh.
And then they edit her and Heidi like cackling about the supposed, fashion show mishap. And Lauren looks miserable.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, Jason cheated on Lauren at the Laguna Beach fashion show. And Jim says something about how a guy making out with another girl, like, what's it with my daughters?
Yeah.
And Lauren looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah, he says that Brianna had a party and the guy that Brianna liked at the party was making out with someone else. And I was like, first of all, a Brianna mention. Okay, second of all, is this a party we saw on Laguna Beach season 3?
No, we never saw any of Brianna's parties, no?
Just the one.
We saw the pool party where she
was mean
ignored
to
Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Her birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did we not see this party?
I know. And they just look like they're talking shit about Lauren with Lauren at the table. And, like, we've never seen the side of Jim and Kathy. Like, we've only seen them being, like, amazing, supportive parents. So, ew. I don't like it.
I hated this scene.
I think Kathy was, they were just teasing. I think they clearly don't like Jason, though. But I think, for good reason. And
yeah, they shouldn't.
I think that was part of it. Like, they were just kind of like, I'm going to mention all the terrible things about him because you need to remember the terrible things about him. I don't know.
I know, but tell your daughter. Don't say it in front of her friend.
I felt bad for Lauren.
But Lauren
How
and Heidi
awkward.
are like BFFs, so it's like...
No. There's a line.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Then in the next one, Lauren and Whitney are at a Teen Vogue photo shoot and they're asked to steam something. And the model who's like in that photo shoot is dancing like she's Tina Turner. Like, really weird.
You guys, that model is an actress on the TV show Parenthood.
Yes, I recognized her from that immediately. Joy Bryant. I looked her up. That's her name. Yeah.
I love that
She's
show.
weird.
So I immediately was like, oh my God, that's her.
Yeah. I looked her up to see like if she did modeling and I couldn't really find anything. So I wonder
if it was
maybe she was there as an actress.
Yeah.
Maybe.
not even a model, but
I'm glad you recognized her. I was like, wait a second, I know her.
She has a really distinct look. So I was immediately like, oh my God. Jasmine's her character on Parenthood.
Well, she had a lot of energy that came off
Yeah.
weird to someone who doesn't know her. And she asks if Lauren and Whitney are going out tonight, and Lauren tells her it's her birthday, and then she wishes her a good, happy birthday, and then she leaves.
I'm laughing at your note.
If you see my notes on this, it's like, the model, who is she?
Who is she? That's funny.
Then this next one I actually thought was really cute and they should have put into the show. And it's Heidi and Jordan going on a Valentine's Day date. And they're in the car and Heidi's trying to guess what it is. And Jordan's like, stop guessing. And then she guesses horses. And he is indeed taking her to a ranch to ride horses, which is so cute because Heidi is from Aspen.
Mountain girl at heart.
Yes. It's clear she grew up riding horses because the next scene is her, like, a trainer coming over and he's like, step on this to get up on the horse. And she's like, can I just get up regularly? And he's like, well, if you can, you can. And she does. And so, like, Heidi's done this a lot in Colorado and she's so cute on this date. And Jordan later plans like a cute picnic on a hill overlooking like all of LA. And he's brought like a bunch of Heidi's favorite foods. She's so excited. She reads out his Valentine's Day card and he even buys her a ring for Valentine's Day. And she like pops it right on her ring finger. And she says, this is a pre-engagement ring. And he's like, yeah, it is. So they were serious and they were totally in it and seemed like they thought they were going to marry each other.
Yeah, I thought this was so cute. And it showed that he did treat her like a princess, like she said. They should have left that in.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was really sweet.
Then in the next scene, we see Jordan picking up Holly, who's Heidi's sister, at the airport. And Lauren is at home cleaning out the apartment because Holly is coming to visit and surprise Heidi. Holly and Jordan come home, and then Lauren tells her that she looks beautiful. And I wrote here, I'm like, Holly's so young compared to how I remember her, but she has such an old vibe about her.
Yeah,
she does.
She does.
I don't know how to explain it.
Is she Heidi's older sister? She is, right?
Older, yes. Her hair's like fluffy and there's a lot of volume, so maybe that's making me think that she looks old, but she just has like a older sister vibe to her.
Her face is just, I'm not saying old and like wrinkled or anything, but her face is just older. It's not like a young,
fresh, like immature, like she's just not young looking. And she hides behind the door when Heidi comes home, and Heidi literally like walks in the door, she shuts the door, doesn't even turn around.
I know.
And so like doesn't even see her, and then Holly has to tap her to get her to turn around, and then Heidi starts freaking out and crying because she's so happy.
It was so cute though. It was nice to see that they were like close.
They were BFFs before Spencer.
Yeah, but didn't you say that Holly lived there?
Yes, this apartment had like 3 bedrooms. So maybe Holly moved in like after a certain point, because this totally looked like a visit as opposed to her like living there, but she did live there.
Yeah, interesting.
And then the next scene is Jordan going to a singing lesson, and he talks about how he grew up in the theater, and him and his coach start doing vocal warm-ups, but he starts cracking at some of the high notes. And the guy teaches him a bunch of like vocal ranges, placements, and Jordan just stares. And then Jordan tells him that he wants to start a band but doesn't know what he wants to do yet. And the guy tells him he's a really good singer. Just continue to apply your mind to it. I feel like this whole scene, they're editing Jordan to look kind of dumb.
It was really awkward.
The strangest voice lesson I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's like, call me Axel, even though my name is Dan Smith.
And the guy, the singing coach, was missing a front tooth. So I was like, that's a little weird for like a Hollywood singing coach.
It was very strange. And I'm also like, since when is Jordan into music?
We didn't see that at
all.
Never.
At all.
But Heidi does say he was like gonna record an album.
Yeah, but
and he talks about in his interview later how he's like into it, but we didn't see any of that.
He's a theater kid, which is like insane to me because he does not give theater kid vibes.
Not at all.
And then this last deleted scene, totally get why they cut it, but Lauren's at FITM and she brings in like this huge poster board for an assignment. And the teacher picks on her to go up to present. She does a presentation. Very boring. Very fashion. Very boring.
This is the one that I fast forwarded through because I was like, when are these ending? And
Yeah.
I didn't go back and watch it, but I did note that her outfit was cute. She was wearing like a flowy white skirt and like black top, and I thought she looked cute for school. But that was all I noted because I didn't really watch this scene.
You didn't miss anything important.
Then the next part on the DVD are the featurettes, and we see them at the Hills premiere party. And it's just like a quick little montage of like all of them on the red carpet, and they talk about how fun the night is, how they're nervous, how some people aren't nervous. And Lauren's like, I expected only one photographer to show up. And then Whitney's like, I just found this dress today. And she was wearing like a cute, sparkly silver dress. And Audrina says that she dressed herself in a black Marciano dress. And she wore it on her birthday, but she loved it so much, she wore it again. And Jordan wore a hoodie to the premiere with a band shirt on it. And then Heidi's in a silver dress and says that her dog, Bella, chewed her shoes. And then Lauren is wearing a Diane von Furstenberg dress and Marc Jacobs shoes. And I said, of course, Lauren with the labels already. And they talk about how they hope people can relate to like them on the show and how they can be role models to other people.
They're also young and fresh,
I
and
know.
they have so much sparkle in their eye, you know?
I know.
Like, they're really going to change the world with this reality show. It was cute. I loved the fact that everybody dressed themselves.
Yes.
Because I just thought that was amazing. And Heidi actually said, I bought this because it's like what I'd wear if I lived in LA. And now she's like actually like at a premiere in LA. So I thought that was super cute.
Me too. That was really cool. Heidi, Queen of Manifestation.
Yes.
And then the next one was them, the four girls, going to the MTV Movie Awards. And we see them go to Diane von Furstenberg to go dress shopping. And it's like the day before the movie awards. And they're all kind of nervous because they don't have dresses yet. And Lauren says she usually picks the dress first, then accessorizes after. And I'm sure MTV paid for this, or at least I'm hoping they paid for their like shopping trip. But it's so fun that they literally get to go to like a designer store to pick out designer dresses. Like, I am so jealous.
So fun, yeah.
And then they all try on dresses, and Lauren and Whitney wear like color, and Audrina and Heidi choose black dresses. Then they go to a different shop to look for dresses, and I wrote down they just literally look good in everything. Like, all their choices were really, really cute. And Lauren says she gets a dress at Cynthia Rowley, and Heidi had found something, but Whitney and Audrina were still looking. And so they were off looking for dresses, and Lauren's like, it was a good day. And then the next day, Whitney's at Warren Trachomey, and they meet to get their hair done before the party. And they all get their hair and makeup done here. They didn't just get their hair styled, but it looked like Heidi was also getting her roots done.
I think Whitney too. Yeah, I was surprised they were coloring their hair.
Like a full makeover.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they do this like funny little reveal of each girl turning in their chair. And they all look beautiful. Lauren obviously like went with her signature old Hollywood curls, even all the way back then. And then they all get dressed and changed, and they go off to the party.
I loved Audrina's dress.
I did too. It was pretty.
I thought it was
Remind me, what was it?
It was like yellow, and it was like kind
really
of long.
long.
I thought she looked the most classy out of everybody.
Look at you.
I know. I never
liking Audrina.
But I laughed when they were like all getting into the limo and stuff, and then Lauren like goes and grabs Jason. He's wearing jeans. I'm like, and a white blazer, and it is the most 2000s boy thing I've ever seen in my life. But I was just like, oh God, I'm so over the Jason era. I like need a new boy. I need new boys. I'm over Brian. I'm over Jordan.
You're about to get one.
I know.
Yes.
So
2.
Well, I can do without one of them, but
That's all we're going to cover in part 1 of Special Features. Come back next week to listen to us talk about the cast interviews and also the after party. See you next week.